marketing for me starts with branding. You don't need to spend hundreds of thousands doing the branding. With what we have here, the Ferrari that you guys built, it's all up there. So you come in, you do a nice presentation of your company, and then you master an invitation. You 80% ahead of everybody.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of the Alliance Group podcast. We have another very special guest lined up for our podcast today, Mr. Fred Martins from Second Chance Financial in Waxhaw, North Carolina. Great friend to Alliance Group and an awesome, amazing human being, Fred. It's great to have you here, man.
Awesome. Honored to be here.
You and Camille are in town to capture some videos, to pay a visit. I'm really excited that we got to sit down and film this podcast together. Of course, you, Fred, an entrepreneur, a husband and a father, a dynamic speaker, a huge philanthropist, which we're going to get into as well. Lots and lots to talk about here, but I want to start with one of my favorite subjects, which is marketing. Now, and before I go into that, Fred, Second Chance Financial is the name of your company. Why did you choose the name Second Chance Financial, and what does that say about what your purpose is?
We truly believe that everybody deserves a second chance. And because of our beliefs in Jesus as our Lord, every day he gives us a second chance. The minute that we wake up, it's a second chance to have one more day in our lives. And visiting, a friend of mine owns a ranch in Florida. It was a Second Chance Ranch. I said, I love that name. I was about to open the company back in 2019, 2020. I said, I'm going to steal that name. I love it. And there we are, Second Chance Financial.
That's awesome. I love it because it also speaks to what you guys are really trying to do, which is not necessarily, someone doesn't have to have had a complete disaster with their finances that they're trying to build back from, but you are giving them a second chance at a fresh start to really put together a good, solid retirement somewhere down the road, right?
Absolutely. And we work with wealthy families.
Right.
A lot of Brazilians are our clients. So they come into the US, it's a completely different scenario. So it's the second chance of, learning something new,
Right.
Start something that they never heard about. Some of the products that we represent and we suggest to our clients, it's completely new for them. So that also fits into the second chance.
Right. And it's, a lot of people, even though they might have a large income, they might do very good at making money. It's the strategizing with their money that they might have not done well with in the past. And maybe if they would have had a better plan, a better approach to their financial picture, they might be farther ahead. But now you have a second chance to work with people that can help you put that financial future together. That's going to help you be most efficient with your money to grow it.
Absolutely, especially with the laws, completely new to a foreign coming to the US.
Right, yeah.
How am I going to protect, from taxes? There is not a day that goes by. I never take for granted the opportunity to live in an amazing country like the US. But Uncle Sam, they want us, but they want your money too. You just see the program now that you pay millions of dollars to have a green card. So that's something that we really spend time as a company, as a partner with Alliance, understanding the tax system. How can we shelter? How can we protect your taxes? How can you actually be surprised? Because there is no such a thing in Brazil of tax-free retirement. But there is so many tools that we have, so many products that we have that we can use for that.
Yeah.
So that's a second chance right there.
Absolutely. So again, I want to go back and talk about marketing because I love marketing, obviously. And I have to say, of everyone that we work with at Alliance Group, I don't know that there's anybody that does a better job at your own marketing system and building the systems that we've built that you have. You've actually told me that marketing, out of all the things that you do wear many hats, as we're going to talk about shortly, but of all the things you do at Second Chance Financial, the your most your favorite thing to do
It is.
is the marketing,
Yeah.
because you just have this mind for it. So you've got this engineering mind. You built all these systems. You approach marketing with an engineering mindset. You have a fantastic website that you set up through Alliance Campaigns. If you guys, any Alliance agents out there that have wondered what campaigns might be able to do and what some of that customization might be able to do for your business, definitely go check out secondchancefinancials.com.
Yep.
Fred and his team have done an amazing job at taking that template and customizing it to really talk about all of the different things that you do through not only Second Chance, but VER as well. You run online ads, you generate leads, you have systems in place for recruiting, for the emergency contact list. You built quite a machine, Fred. So of all these things that you're doing from the marketing perspective, what are some of the things that have you most excited right now and that are really working for you?
Well, marketing is a whole universe.
It is. It's not just one thing. It's a lot of things, right?
So yeah, I like the how to go big into this industry and go big, big, goes starting with branding, which has everything. Branding is in the middle of the marketing universe. From branding you can go with all the directions. That's exactly how we do. It's like our center. It's around branding, and people misunderstand the concept of branding. You can be by yourself. You can be, two guys in the one truck.
Yeah, yeah.
It's how you're gonna show up, on meetings. It's how you're gonna have a nice website. You don't need to, especially with what you guys offer, you don't need to spend hundreds of thousands doing the branding.
Right.
There are companies out there paying thousands and thousands just to develop a logo, right?
Right.
With what we have here, the Ferrari that you guys built, it's all up there. So for sure, marketing for me starts with branding.
Right. And that's kind of like if you were a person, if your business were a person, what kind of person would they be? Right. It's not only how you look, but what are your values? What's your personality? Right. That's all in that branding. It's who are you as a company. It's not just a logo. It's how you show up at meetings.
Exactly.
It's the way that you conduct business. It's all of that stuff.
And your email extension. You don't want to sit down with a client and throw dot whatever, at
Yeah.
at nobody out there,
.info, right?
yeah, dot info, right? So it starts with that. So marketing for me, it's how you presenting yourself. So go big, you start with branding, then it goes hand to hand with invitation. And people don't understand how valuable is an invitation. I'm married to Camille. It starts with an invitation, right? And then we got two beautiful daughters.
That's right.
It was an invitation.
Start with asking her first.
Today, yeah, exactly.
For a cup of coffee.
You come in, you do a nice presentation of your company or yourself, and then you master an invitation. You 80% ahead of everybody. Because, then it comes the part that we do extremely well, which is the field training. If you invite someone, don't worry yet about, it is important to know about products. But at the early stage, focus on your image and on the invitation, because we have professional that's there to teach you about products. They're going to go hand to hand with a new agent, teaching them, how to be in front of the client. We even have a saying that you're going to come into this meeting with me, you're going to say hi and bye. Don't worry, we got you covered. And as you progress, because one of the most complete agent that I met with Gustavo, my partner, it's a guy that understands more about product than people that work in financial companies. But he hasn't sold one policy yet. Why is that? Because he's focusing only on products. And that's, it's part of the business, but that's phase 3, in my opinion.
Right.
Branding, invitation.
Branding, invitation. So BIG.
The G is going to link to VR.
Gotcha.
Giving. You got to learn how to give. And it's not only giving money, it's giving your time, giving ideas. We developed emergency contact.
Yep.
That was part of my giving. And I talked about that on the other podcast we did. Throughout the process, it was a year that we put in.
Right. So
Meetings.
for those of
Yeah.
you who might not know, we had an emergency contact list system. We knew it needed to be updated and kind of brushed up a little bit. Fred had been using that, and you worked with us over several months
Several months.
to put together and really rework that system to put together a handbook that taught agents exactly how to execute based on your successes with that system. So it was incredibly generous of you,
Give it.
of your time to give that time, and to benefit agents that were within your agency, but lots of agents that were outside of your agency.
Yep. And some people said, "Oh, you're feeling the competitors." I say, There is no such a thing." There are some universe laws that was done by God, and one of them it's more you give, more you get, and it's still to this day the largest uh, contract that I've done since I joined the company was throughout that period. You remember?
Yeah.
It was a family that came, a really wealthy family. They became my client, still my client to this day.
Hmm.
And it was throughout the process. And guess what? It did not came through any lead generation. It did not came from me knock on nobody's door. The phone rang and somebody said, I was talking to a friend of mine that referred me to you.
Hmm.
So it was the universe paying back
Wow.
that giving. So I
It's-
truly believe on that.
Jerry Stratton always used to say, and Lee still continues to say to this day, you get what you want by helping other people get what they want.
Absolutely.
And I think that is a big part of it. So we are going to talk about, obviously, you being very generous with your time is one example, but obviously VER is a huge, huge part of everything Fred Martin's. It is your passion project. We are going to get to that in a second. I want to go back to what you were just kind of describing in the I phase, which is the invitation phase. You actually have built out one of the reasons that you've been able to be so successful and that your agency is growing so much, Fred, is that you have a true new agent program at your agency. You call it the NAP, but it is this true ecosystem that you've built that will help develop agents. Can you tell us about that? Because I think it's so very important because a lot of people want to recruit, they want to invite people to be a part of what they do, but and they might even be able to get people to say yes, but then once they say yes, where's the system for them to plug into to truly be able to develop from somebody who has never been in the financial services industry before to somebody who's starting this to produce and to be successful and find that first foothold in this industry. So you do have this system. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Uh,
Why you think it's so important?
well, I, I truly believe in process.
Hmm.
So, yes, offering people an opportunity out there, it's, I would say, small part of developing them
Hmm.
because you can do a easy sell. You can just show up with the brand new car and show your lifestyle and tell people you're going to become a millionaire. I don't believe on that.
Hmm.
I believe of first the invite, the opportunity.
Hmm.
Second, uh, a complete toolbox that we have, and a misconception of "N- I developed that agency, I developed that agent." You don't develop nobody.
Hmm.
You give people the opportunity and you have a toolbox, they decide to develop themselves. So part of our NAP, new agent program, it's making sure that we have every tool for those that want to be developed. That's why we became uh, very detailed on who's going to come and join us.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is something you were talking about, Fred. You were talking another thing that you do that is maybe different than what people are used to seeing in this industry is we see a lot of people that are just recruit the masses of asses, right? Throw all the mud against the wall, see what sticks. If you got a pulse and you say yes, I'm going to bring you in and we'll see what you can do. You guys are actually very discerning about the people that you bring in. Tell me why that is.
This business is not for everybody. It is for everybody, but for those that really want to make this happen.
Right.
So, for example, you go throughout our process and I don't know anyone and I don't want to learn how to meet people.
Mhm.
That's a no no.
You're not gonna be successful if you don't want to meet people and you don't like talking
in
to
any business.
let's not kid ourselves.
Yeah,
Let's be positive and optimistic.
exactly.
This business can be for almost everybody, but there's some
Yeah,
people, listen, man, let's not waste our time or your time. I don't think sales is for you if you don't like talking to people.
yeah. And I hate technology, and I'm not willing to learn. I mean, you already saying no to yourself, and
You're already defeating you're not even saying, "I don't but I can learn," but you're saying, "I
yeah,
don't wanna learn." Okay, that's probably a fatal flaw,
yeah.
right?
If part of the interview, if you go, I don't know this, but I'm willing to learn. I'm not good at this, but if you have the tool, I'm a go getter. I,
Mhm,
I really, because how many people we have working with us
mhm,
that was the mindset.
mhm,
I want to develop myself, and that's what we're looking.
mhm,
So throughout the interview process, we not pay attention on the answers they give us when we ask questions, but we really put a lot of focus on the questions they asking us.
mhm,
Like, what's your program of developing?
mhm.
Uh, you know, that's a smart question to ask on an interview
Yep,
because it shows that they are interested to develop themselves.
yep,
So that's key for us. People that want to develop themselves, and we as a companies, right?
mhm,
The whole alliance group, Five Rings, and Second Chance, and all the ecosystem that we created.
mhm,
I mean, you're not gonna develop if you don't want to,
right,
because we have all the tools there for you.
absolutely. Yeah, it's really interesting, like, the idea of you're getting to this phase in your agency's lifespan now where things are starting to grow, and or well, they've been growing, but they're starting to grow at an even, accelerated rate, and you only have so much time to spend with so many different producers, right? Talk about
Challenge.
how do you prioritize, and I imagine that probably ties into your decision to be a little more discerning about who you choose to bring in because you really do want to be able to spend quality time and resources on good people that have a good chance of succeeding in this industry, right?
Absolutely. That's one of the main challenges now for our company. We on the year that we're gonna grow about 100%, just production.
Wow.
On the NEP program, including all the agencies,
The new
we
agent
yeah,
program, right?
as of now, we're at 650% comparing to last year, same time.
My gosh.
So that, yeah, control growth is something extremely important on any organization.
Yeah.
So the challenge is that, how, to know where you spend your energy. And that starts with bringing the right people,
Hmm.
to be part. We just passed the 100 licensed agents mark. Means we have 100 agents out there working. Some of them already building beautiful agencies,
Hmm.
like the Scarabellis,
Yeah.
number one consulting. We have the Latinonaires, we have Antunes,
Mhm.
we have Forever Financial.
Mhm.
I mean, we got pretty much five, six organizations now that becoming agencies.
Right.
Some of them they learn how to fly, so it's learning how not to cut their wings
Hmm.
and tell them, Papa Bird is here. If you
Right.
need me, come fly home.
Right.
We're here for you.
Right.
But let them do their fly.
Yep.
Beautiful, beautiful programs. That's actually a copy of what we did.
Hmm.
They understood the concept, they understood the culture,
Hmm.
and they just
They
replicated. That's
replicated.
beautiful.
Yep. And in those cases, you're just I'm not going to suffocate you. I'm here if you need me. Go fly, little birdie.
Yes.
Fly high.
Exactly. Like a teenagers,
Yeah.
sometimes go make couple mistakes, but daddy's here.
Yeah.
If you need, we'll back you up.
Yeah.
And that's what we worked for. This is our sixth year,
Mhm.
and like many other, not many, but few other companies that I owned in the past, this is completely different because we're building partnership. We building, a family company, different from companies that I owned in the past that everybody was my employees,
Right.
and I'm growing the company. Now it's a different, and I love this. This is
A
what
different dynamic.
I
Yeah.
really love, because we building partnership, and how I look at the business model that we have, and everybody that I sit down that owned companies before said, "Hey, we're gonna be partners,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna allow you to have a buy-in on the company share." So you starting at 45%, and you can buy your way out up to 90%. And that's the learning process. I'm gonna be next to you each step. When you get up here and you own 90%, I'm gonna keep 5 and I'm gonna be happy.
Yeah.
I love that the
I
way.
love that.
Yeah,
We're both
buy out.
we're growing together.
Yeah, we're growing together. Now you learn like the agency that I have. Go out, do there. I'll keep a small share of the company,
Mhm.
and we partners and let's grow. And
That's awesome.
we're one of the $1 million agencies, following that process.
Yeah. You, speaking of developing an agency, I think that, you and I were sitting and talking, actually yesterday, I believe, in a planning call. Um, but one thing that you brought up that I thought was really fascinating is that idea of a lot of agents don't realize if you're building an agency, you're building a true business that has equity, that has value, right? And so all of these, agents who are wanting to build right now, they might be just focused on getting that agent under them, and growing their income and helping that agent develop so they can get an override and earn more money, and that's all well and good. But if you're truly focused on developing a business that has equity that you have equity in, right? You can start thinking of retirement in several different ways. A lot of people think about, I'm going to build an agency and then I'm going to sell it one day and sail off into the sunset. And that's fine. That's all well and good. Um, but it might look a little bit different than that. It could, like you've actually expressed what you would like to do, and actually I'll let you tell it. What are your hopes, and your plans? What does quote unquote retirement after you've built all of this? What does it look like for Fred Martins?
Retirement is not stop working. It's become financial free.
Mm-hmm. And
So
have more time.
exactly. So my planning for the next 5 years, and we are on that track. If we keep growing on average of 40 to 50%
Mm-hmm.
every year, which we are since day one,
Mm-hmm.
in 5 years, I'm going to be in a position to actually, today I'm doing 80% second chance financial, about 20% VER,
Mm-hmm.
which is the nonprofit.
Yes.
I don't want to depend on any income of any kind coming from VR. That's my giving. That's the thing that my passion. But my income from second chance is going to be able to let me go 50-50, and eventually my retirement planning is build enough equity, have a company, which we already do with
Mm-hmm.
12 people in the back office, marketing department and all,
Yeah.
and then be 80-20. 80% VR, 20% second chance when it comes to time invested. 100% of the income coming from second chance, having someone else, running with me that
Right.
gives me that freedom.
Right.
And then put on my backpack and go do, VR, what we do best, emergency relief, and, all the things that we do around the world.
Doing God's work. So
Yeah.
it's pretty incredible. So this is where the philanthropy part comes in, because Fred, you truly are the most giving, thoughtless, or a thoughtful, generous, selfless person that I know when it comes to what you're doing with VR. And I see the joy, the true joy that it gives you, to do this. So let's talk about, VER, of course, founded in 2017, volunteer emergency relief, right? So, this got started with a hurricane that hit Florida,
Yep.
correct? Tell us the story.
Irma. Well, prior to the hurricane, I start to get a lot of, this was Irma 2017.
Mm-hmm.
So this is coming straight hit in Broward,
Mm-hmm.
which hasn't happened since Wilma back in 2005. So you have that gap from 2005 to 2017. Tons of Brazilians have moved to the US. They never experienced a hurricane. I put a video out there saying what you should do before, during, and after the hurricane. Went viral, more than 10 million views. This is back in
My
2017.
goodness.
Yeah, it was all over. So Gustavo Curo saw the video, said, this is a great idea. He started recording. So making the story short, we end up organizing with a local church that after the hurricane, we're just going to get together. as bunch of guys to go out and help. So he said, check your house, check your neighbor, everything's in order, car fills up, let's just meet at this parking lot. We had hundreds of people. Yes, let's do it. And I mean, it was crazy, movement on back then was just Facebook.
Was
That
this
we
the
were
first time that you had done work like this?
No, no, no. I started back in 2001 at the World Trade Center. I was living in Manhattan, and that was my actually official first volunteer work.
Boots on the ground.
Yeah,
help.
I went there to remove debris.
Wow.
They did not pick me, but I went to donate blood. I was going around. I lived in Manhattan, at that day. Since that, I got involved in many things. Church was doing something, Brazilian consulate, whatever I could put my nose on it, I was there. So in 2017, we set up 3 o'clock. We're gonna meet at this parking lot. Everybody showed up. I was Every and Gustavo's buddy. Everybody. Two of us. Two of us. They were like 4 o'clock. I don't think
Oh my
it's
god.
just two of us. I have rented a U-Haul truck, put water in the back. Gustavo said, I got some water. Say, what we're gonna do? Let's drive around. And at that moment, I learned something extremely important when it comes to giving. It's not your job to find the necessity out there. Your job is just to step forward and be willing to do something. God already have on the other side the necessity. So every time we go out, people go, how did you find this place? Right? Most common question. How did you find this village? How did you find this, that? Say, we didn't find anything. We here. We want to serve. And that's exactly what happened.
I've heard so many stories where you tell this, where like something happened, you just get in the car and you just go. And Camille's usually like, what the heck, Fred?
Yeah.
So you just get in the car and you go and you show up and you say, I'm here. And then immediately someone grabs you and says, and then you're in the middle of this adventure. And by the end of it, you've helped thousands of people. And it's just amazing. You just step forward and
it is. Me and Gustavo planning to write a book about that. So how we drive, we foots on the ground, we call, right? 24 to max 72 hours, especially if it's a hurricane. So boots on the ground, and then, we got this warehouse, we got this church want to meet you, and then like airplanes, boats, trucks, everything.
Supplies. They need to be coordinated and need an airport to land this. We need a, we need a, it's amazing.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah, but we got stories like, oh man, how are we gonna get to Key West? The roads are closed, and then we hear a helicopter. Like, oh, maybe we fly, and 2 hours later, we at the airport.
You're in a helicopter.
It's crazy. It's just like, I'm here, use me, and God will use you.
What is it about this that you obviously like? It's almost like you're addicted to it. Like
Oh yeah.
you love it. Like what is it? What does it give you to give that makes it something you're so passionate about?
Well, that was Bruna's question. My daughter, I have Bruna and Luana, my two beautiful daughters. Bruna say, Daddy, why you do this? I mean, is this a kind of
It's
an
an impulsive.
It's impulsive. I say, yes, it is. It's something that I cannot hold back. And I just, I feed out of that so much. And do you get anything back? I say, I get everything back. Everything you can name it. I mean, not only feeling, but when you out there are only two sides. People that want to help and people that needs help. So when you become a bridge, I mean, you go in there, help these people, but now how about these people that wants to help? The network, the friends that I made.
Oh my God.
I mean, I can say I'm really close to you guys today, not only because of Second Chance, but in my view, it's more because of VR than Second Chance. Lee went to Brazil with me, Travis, and now we're planning to go to South Africa together. I mean, because the bond you create when you out there giving, I mean, it's not a financial return. I mean, God's not going to own you anything. Don't take me wrong. It's amazing. Last year, I took 4 months away. The last year was 60-40.
Right.
Brazil, Milton, Helene.
Yeah.
I was like for
You're
4
on the
months.
road a lot, and you just leave your business when that happens.
I'm like, nobody call me. Camille is in charge.
You're out. Yeah.
And that's the year that we have the unbelievable growth. Maybe the year, I think it's the year that we grew more,
Yeah.
60% last year.
Yep. It's like the more you give, the better your business does, which doesn't make sense on paper, but
Yeah.
it makes sense here, right?
My manager even jokes saying, you need to stay out a little bit more because we keep growing.
Go help another.
Go help another. Yeah. It's,
That's incredible.
yeah, whoever gives are, people that gives are the ones that receive most.
Well, I mean, obviously you've helped Alliance Group so much, and we've partnered with VER um, multiple times throughout the years. Obviously, we built homes and medical centers in Mirajiba
Yeah.
together, which you mentioned.
Whole village.
And Lee went down there. It was absolutely incredible to see the video from that. We partner with VER to help bring school supplies and computer equipment to people who needed it in those local communities where Alliance Group does our conference, Dominican Republic, Los Cabos. It's been really amazing what we've been able to do together. And then most recently, just last month,
Arizona.
Yeah, in Arizona, we were able to partner up, and you put on a charity soccer tournament.
That was unbelievable.
That was to help again those local kids. We got them brand new goals, brand new soccer goals. So it's not always disaster relief. You're starting to, you've expanded VER to just really help anyone anywhere who needs help. That's where you want to be. And again, tying it back to what you were saying, you want to eventually do this full time.
Yeah.
And it's just awesome how to see when people say, if you help other people get what they want, you get what you want. It's crazy to watch how you're doing it, and it's working. It's working. Even when you're completely away from the business, helping people, your business is growing. It's funny how the universe works.
And one thing that really caught my attention, this is 8th year of VR, 6th year of Second Chance. And I bring everything from my network from Second Chance to VR.
You do. You're always talking. If you meet Fred Martins, you're going to hear about VR.
Yeah. Every Money 101, everything that we do, we talk and we put in the QR codes there. And that's actually where we generate all the donations for VR.
Yeah.
VR, on the other hand, when I'm at VR, very few people that I meet there knows about Second Chance because I'm so locked in.
Yeah.
That sometimes people like I was in Brazil for 53 days consecutive after the floods. And then people had no idea that I do, I have a finance company.
Right.
Because I'm locked in. So that's the beautiful thing about, the together we are better.
Yeah.
We here working, making money, but on the other hand, we just doing, so much. Villages and everything. That Vacation with a Purpose became part of my,
Yes.
you guys don't know, but I'm already with something lined up for next year, Mexico.
All right.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Just in case you guys need, we're going to have a program there.
I think, I love, one of my favorite things that we do, and we've done it with VER, is that we mentioned earlier, Vacation with a Purpose, where everywhere Alliance takes our agents on our awesome conference that we do every year, we're helping people in that local communities. And the past few years, it's been by partnering with VER to do so. I think it's just a beautiful partnership. We love doing it every time.
This year was special, was a pre-World Cup. We organized the soccer tournament. You guys gonna see some videos from that program, and
I think we might actually have some to edit into this podcast,
Awesome.
so you guys can kind of see a little bit of what was going on there. So, as if all of this weren't enough, Fred, between Second Chance Financial and VER, you do wear a lot of hats, so to speak, right? But you have this hat, which is something else that you do, which is, you guys might recognize, this is the FBI seal. You are in the FBI's Citizen Academy program as a community ambassador.
Yep.
So you're not an agent for the FBI.
Nope. Let's make that clear. I'm not SA. I don't take money. I don't get my paycheck comes from Second Chance.
That's right.
Yes,
but you do work with the FBI. Tell me about what that is.
Yeah, the Citizen Academy, they go after community leaders,
Mhm.
and we are the bridge from the community with the FBI.
Mhm.
Demystification. How do you say that?
Uh,
Like you dismystifying, like some when you
demystifying.
demystify,
Yeah, demystifying.
demystify.
There you go.
Yeah. So our role is to I need to
Demystify.
demystify. Yeah, we're gonna be whole day. I'm not gonna say that word correctly. Put the closed caption there, guys.
Right.
So yes, a lot of uh, lies and a lot of things saying, you are immigrant, you cannot go to the FBI. I mean,
Mhm.
that's our job.
Right.
Find the specific things that FBI these days are spending tons of money preventing the crime,
Mhm.
because the FBI became, known for what? After the crime, we're going to investigate.
Right, yeah.
So if you go and actually give the vaccine of the crime before people get sick, right?
Right.
It
It's like
saves
preventative medicine as opposed
exactly,
to giving medicine, right?
absolutely. So it saves the country tons of money.
Mhm.
So I came to the US back in 1993. I had this dream, maybe join local law enforcement, maybe Air Force, Army. That was my dream growing up watching SWATs.
Yeah.
Ta-da-da, ta-da-da.
That's awesome.
Yeah, life took a different turn. I end up becoming entrepreneur, open companies.
Mhm.
But back in 2020, George Pito, the special agent in charge in Florida,
Mhm.
a great guy, great story, invite me over to, for the Citizen Academy. And that was a 9 weeks academy. We go through every training possible, from counterterrorism, anything you name it out there, drugs. We actually have a day that we do shooting,
Wow.
AR, yeah,
Wow.
AR-14. And it was a dream coming true. And, another way, I'm a volunteer. That's a volunteer
Right,
program.
right.
So now, just invited very small group of people to go to the headquarters in Washington, D.C., May 27, 28, 29. I'm one of the ambassadors that got an invitation.
Awesome.
I just received our tour, and it's going to be amazing. We're going to be at the headquarters being trained,
You're going to
l-
Congress?
Congress,
Yeah.
and the public library that have all the history of the U.S. So, I mean, this hat here,
Yeah.
I'm very proud. FBI ambassador for the Brazilian community.
That is very cool, man.
Yes.
That's very cool. I don't know how you find the time to do all of the things that you do, Fred. But I mean, it's also nice that you actually market this. You can find a section on your website where you talk about this. Number one, because you're very proud of it, but it also it shows people that what you do is legitimate.
How legit, yeah.
Right, exactly, and kind of edifies that.
Yeah, when you talk about money, it's not only among the Brazilians, right? I'm part of a master group from people all over the US on the financial business.
Mhm.
And the number one thing, it's about transparency and trust.
Right.
So this give us the opportunity to say, we legit.
Mhm.
Not only the companies we represent being business for 176 years.
Right.
And sometimes you hear like people completely out of nonsense said, this is a scam. Well, if it's a scam, the U.S. government's part of it,
Right.
FBI is part of it.
All right.
I mean, this is the scam that you want to be part of it, okay?
Right.
Because this is the clan.
Right.
That's why we see it here. See like the hand signal, right? What do you call the?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's
It's secret. We can't talk about
we
it.
can like hush hush.
Yeah. Now this shows how legit this is.
Yeah.
And we always telling this at the event, saying, "Hey, we would be involved. Fred Martin would not be involved if this was not 100% legit."
Mhm. I mean, that's the thing is that, like, I mean, if somebody goes to your website, it goes back to what you talked about all the way at the beginning with branding. It's like, as you're building out who your company is, who is Second Chance Financial, it's not just a logo, it's Fred Martin's. But as you look into that, your website, which you do such a great job of doing branding on, a lot of it is that giving back. It's that, like, okay, so Second Chance, okay, they're a financial company of some sort. Looks like they do life insurance, right, and things like that. Okay, who are they though? Well, here's Fred Martin's. Look at all this work that he does with this 501c3 VER, and
Yeah.
look at all this amazing work he's doing. that gives an impression of who this company is, who this person is behind this company. Then you look at the FBI program that you're a part of. This guy, wants to give back to his country. He is a patriot. He loves America. He's doing the right things. And then, of course, what you said as well, which is like, if he's this close with the FBI, he's obviously very trustworthy. He's not going to be doing anything scammy or illegal, right?
Yeah.
So it's all of these things that go to build a brand, and I think you do
Yes.
just the best job of it, Fred. And
Thank you.
I just think you're just an amazing human being, and we're proud to call ourselves your friend and your partner in this industry.
Honor to have partners like you guys. It's a true dream coming true. I can put all in once. My financial life, my given life, through VR, and also serving my country. I was born in Brazil. That was not my choice, but coming here was my choice. Becoming an American citizen is my choice, and I'm very proud to be an American citizen and give back to this country. And that's the word for you out there that are coming. We have all these immigration issues now.
Mm-hmm.
Come here to serve before you. Do I have the right? You don't have the right of anything if you just arriving like me.
Mm-hmm.
It's just by giving, 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 giving. And that's what America was made. This was not a land of, you know, taken out of the US and sending that,
Right.
like, unfortunately, Latin America was colonized with that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go there, extract everything, and send back to another place. America was made by let's build a home here. So you come with that mindset to this country, you're on the right path to success.
That's awesome. We're proud to be on the path to success with you, Fred. I appreciate you, man. We love you at Alliance Group, and thanks for being a guest on the podcast today.
Thank you.
And thank you guys for joining us as well. Fred Martins, Second Chance Financial. Thanks again for being our guest today. We will see you guys again on the next episode of the Alliance Podcast.
Let's go.
Listen to this interview and more on the Alliance Group Podcast.